I get it now. I heard it now.
We are recording. Hello. This is session 11 of the seasonal arc. If I can find my document. Session 11 of the seasonal arc. To keep you from the gallows pole. Today we have Karnan, the human fighter. Domhnall, the human fighter monk. Cassius, the human rogue ranger. And eventually we'll have a Turok, but...
The dinosaur.
Nope. That is IP infringement. Or something. I don't know the law. And I'm Clint. And I'm controlling all the other fuckheads, as always. So, let's get into last time, because our recording was trashed.
Yay! Sorry,
Yay! So, you guys went to the Eisman, who at one point you visited the Eisman in the House of Eyes, and he told you about the Spear of Winter Shadows, which can get you into the sources of the font. To traverse that shadow realm to the source, which is contained in the Font of Shadows, which is where you wanted to go at that point in time. So Herber found a word that related to the Spear of Winter Shadows, and it was related to the last field, the place where the last battle took place between the gods and the Lujgau. Based on the word he found, Karen Kamanos was kind of like, it sounds like a name I knew back in my day of a servant of the gods. And Herbert was like, alright, let's go look. So, most of your party was still kind of recovering from getting their energy and life and vitality sucked out by a giant shadow monster. So some of them stayed behind and you guys went north to the last field. It took several days. You found a Goliath in a one-person tent in the middle of the desert. This is all after the rain stopped. There was rain, and it stopped. And, now the desert's back to being the desert. But you went north to the last field, watching the dead vegetation that had recently grown and been destroyed by the sun kind of burn away. And you encountered this Goliath man, whose name was something. If only I could remember names.
I remember his name. Something.
Yes.
Attaboy.
Yeah. I should have looked for this.
Andre.
Mr. Goliath Man.
Mr. Goliathman. Sir Goliathman. Oh, what the fuck's his name?
His name was Andre. I only had a brain.
No. You were looking for the Hasher tribe of Goliath, and you found this dude, whose name was... Come on! Nagas Hassa. He said he had consulted an oracle and had been in the right spot at the right time to kill Timon, whose head was hanging from this gentleman's tent. He said he had consulted an oracle, and the oracle told him to rescue his daughter from the last field. He would need your help, the help of the abandoned. His daughter was named Anagus Hosmus. Her father, Nagas, was originally the champion of the Hasher tribe. He wielded the Spear of Winter Shadows. When he stepped down, because he was old, and you guys didn't get into it, but he had a pretty significant limp, his daughter took his role. His daughter was doing a scavenger mission in the last field, which is dangerous but very lucrative because this is the only place that studs are found naturally. Not naturally, you pull them off bodies.
But I mean, other than that, right?
Yeah. She disappeared with the spear. He consulted a shadow, an oracle, to meet you guys here at the right place at the right time to show you how to get the spear. He was pissed off that his tribe hadn't made more efforts to save his daughter or recover her from where she fell. So he was like, yeah, you guys can keep the spear. I just want my daughter back. So you guys went into the last field. It's this huge, devastated crater of godly war machines and giant bodies and a field strewn with magic and miles of destruction. And there's also a thing that Nagas called the Eye of Summer, I believe. The Eye of Summer. And every so often it shot a giant red laser beam at things. So you guys had to run for like 3 or 4 hours at a steady pace keeping ahead of this laser beam that would draw closer when you stopped, and if it couldn't see you, it dropped bombs on you, and there were a couple times where it was shelling you while you were hiding. It was a whole big thing. It was very exhausting. You were all very tired at the end of it. Eventually, you found this spear with this little tendril of shadow stuff kind of floating in a non-existent wind. Dave tried to break another artifact of this campaign with his Blackstone sword. That didn't happen because shadow stuff doesn't exactly interact with Blackstone like normal magic does. Shadow stuff is weird.
And there was much rejoicing.
And you guys basically just tugged Anagus Hosmus out of the shadows of the source. She was cold and like barely conscious, and like 3 shadow, like not shadows but like grayscale humans kind of came with her, and you guys fought them for a little bit, and they were all like "la la," and they were kind of like screaming, but like you were hearing the screams from like a really far distance away, and it had kind of a supernatural effect that was like damaging, and it was a whole big thing. But you defeated them, and you carried her out of there, and you got out of there, and you got the spear. And the Spear of Winter Shadows is basically like a harpoon, kind of. It's got a big triangle and like barbs on one end. And
Who's Barb?
what's that?
I'm just being
His
a
daughter.
dumbass. I said, who's Barb?
When Turok picked up the spear, like this tendril of shadow stuff kind of wrapped around his arm, and like kind of floated in air and kind of pointed at
prestidigitation.
what?
Like the cloak of prestidigitation.
When he picked it up, there was a little tendril of like almost like a bracer of shadow stuff with like a little tendril hanging off, and then you had the spear, and there's a little tendril of shadow stuff hanging off of that, and they're not connected, but they're pointing at each other. It's a whole big weird thing. And then he found out like he could throw the spear through shadows, and that was another whole big thing, and it was fine. Everyone had fun.
Oh,
You guys
yeah, I
fun?
remember that now. Yeah.
Neat.
And then you guys came back. So, here we are. It is the 29th of second month. Oh. They encountered a silver golem, just like the one in the House of Eyes. And it was like, hey, kill me so I can get back to the House of Eyes, and I'll help you. They did.
I complied.
I should probably note too.
It was magnetically sealed to one of those big metal
Yeah, remember the... Oh, shit, what were they called? The
pillars of iron.
Pillars of Iron, yes.
It was stuck to one of those, but in the last field.
So I should probably note too. This kind of happened off camera as well. With the studs getting increased power, I got a little nervous having that much power attached to myself. So I pulled the stud out and then tried to make a healing item with the only thing I could think of, with being the shard of my sister's dagger. Put it in the dagger and the attempt to make an amulet, and didn't do so well. We now have a dagger of healing.
Yep.
Did you write down all the stats and everything?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. Is there any chance it will do more damage than it heals?
If I crit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, if he crits, it will.
It's a good torture weapon.
Or if he sneak attacks, it will.
Okay. Good to know. Good to keep in mind.
So it is the 29th of second month, 4033 DOS at around 9 in the evening. Is it the second month still? Or is it third month?
You tell me.
I don't know. Whatever. You all have been relaxing in the fortress of the Black Anvil tribe of giants. You returned from the last field yesterday and filled Kandara, her cousins, Metris, and Carrick Manos on everything that happened in the last field. When you told Carrick Manos about the Goliath, Nagas Hassa, and his use of an oracle, like I'm assuming you guys, this is what happened, guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
You told Carrick Manos about Nagas Hassa and his use of an oracle to find where you guys were and who he needed to talk to and all that sort of thing. Carrick Manos was a little upset about that. Not like angry, but just unnerved. He said, I must admit, I am leery of mortals possessing studs that are able to predict the future. The spells they use are somewhat flawed in that the future is not set in Blackstone. It is mutable and changeable, but the gods did not even allow trusted Lujgao such as what Eisman once was, to wield such studs without strong oversight.
Say I kind of left it at this point. I'm like, yeah, but Eisman's really not all that. I mean, he's crushed under a rock right now.
Well, that is true.
I'm gonna, assuming he can hear me every time, I'm just gonna keep nitpicking at any time his name's brought up. I'm trying to make.
I forgot about that. I forgot. You're assuming that. I forgot you were assuming Eisman is watching you.
Yes.
Always watching.
I got that weight off my chest.
Nah. Oh gosh. So it is, as I said, 9 in the evening. I'm sitting down to a dinner of mushroom steaks cooked and seasoned by Carrick Manos. It's not particular.
It's food.
It's food.
It's sustenance.
It's mushroom steaks, and season them all you want. They still taste a little earthy. After finishing their meals of mushroom steak and fermented fungi ooze, Herbert and Kandara step away from the group for a few moments, and they're kind of over by your wagons, kind of talking quietly, like going back and forth and gesturing. And Kandara's doing a lot of eye rolling, and Herbert's doing like. And then they kind of return to where you're all kind of camped out, like rubbing your bellies and like, fungus beer. They both have leather sacks that clink loudly with coin. Once they're seated, Herbert says, "It has been some time since I paid you for your efforts. Here's your daily collected wage since your last payment." And he hands each of you a pile of gold worth 145 gold pieces. Then Kandara says, Herbert and I have discussed the Spear of Winter Shadows. Since it clearly has studs embedded in the blade, or spearhead, or whatever you want to call it, it's pretty clear it's not a true artifact, And you all know that's true. Like, the artifacts of the gods are super powerful and have no studs.
Yep.
Herbert chimes in, with the realization that the god of endless winter is likely not a true god and is in fact that shadow creature we faced. It is my belief that if we find other artifacts with ties to winter, it will be revealed that they are also merely powerful items with studs embedded in them, and not true artifacts made from the bodies of the gods. And Kandara kind of rolls her eyes at Herbert's interruption, and she says, Herbert and I have discussed the Spear of Winter Shadows. Since it clearly has studs, that's not what I meant to say. We're down here. Kandara takes a breath after rolling her eyes, and however, Herbert and I have agreed, some of us reluctantly, and she glares at Herbert, and he kind of awkwardly smiles at you guys. Herbert and I have agreed that the Spear of Winter Shadows represents a powerful boon to our cause, and is maybe the key to figuring out what this shadow creature may or may not be doing to damage the source and the planet. So we've decided to give you a gold bonus anyways. And she hands the group 1,200 gold pieces.
Nice.
Total, not each.
So
Are we dividing that in 3 or are we dividing that in 6?
3. Everyone else is in the other room, so
Yes.
no, we can do 6. That's fine.
So because 3 is 400 each.
So 200
6
each.
is 200 each.
Yep. I don't have very much gold.
Yeah.
I only have 4,700.
You don't buy studs.
Yeah, okay. I have. I'll take some of that. I mean,
So they got a total so far of 345 for everyone else.
Yeah, but at some point I'm going to be able to go to that vendor and they're going to have that badass sword in the back that nobody ever buys because they don't have any money. I'm going to be like,
That badass sword covered in studs.
no, I don't want it. I'm not about that life. You know that?
But you're stuck with your Blackstone sword.
Then I'm good. Whatever. I don't need.
but you won't be. Just be stuck without a sword.
After all the coin and everything has been put away and you've all kind of sorted at it, your finances, Kandara Kandara clears her throat and I think we should go to Walasp. Metris immediately goes nuts, and her cousins do as well. And she kind of glares at all of them, and as they sputter and raise their voices, and she says, "Enough. You've made your cases. I know the risks." And she's kind of talking to you guys too at this point to like cue you in that she's not an idiot. Short of, I know the risks. Short of kidnapping me and locking me up like my father, you won't keep me from this.
Well, kinky.
What you and Dom will do is your own business.
Donald's really upset at Cassie. He gives Cassie a look. Like, come on, dude.
She takes several deep breaths. She pulls it down. Mattress is like, ugh.
I think it's a good idea, Kandara.
Thank you, Donald. I feel that Herbert has asked for access to a library several times during our journey together. He's as much as said that he said that Walasp is the best place to go. I think we need to do that. Metris, my cousins, Herbert, and I can do some research. My father's reach is long, but we have resources of our own, and I've spent many years avoiding him and his agents. If we have to fight our way free of him, that's something I can do. That is something I have done several times in my life. While we're in Walasp, I think you six should go to the Sunless Ravine. Eisman said something about the blood of Everlasting Spring being where dragons spawn. And from what you said at your meeting with Halia Bloodraptor, it's spawning season. And the dragons are there, doing it, literally, in the Sunless Ravine. She kind of smirks when she says doing it.
Would anyone be against finding Helia as like a guide for that area? She's obviously familiar with it. You know.
Yeah, but wouldn't we have to go back to Wasp for that?
We have to go back there anyway.
No, we don't. We're sending Herbert and Kandara. We're going to the Sunless Ravine.
Yeah.
At least that was my intention of the plan.
There's an idea.
If time is of the essence, we don't have time to make these trips back and forth, and we need artifacts and information.
She said, Kandara says,
I want to go to the city.
yeah?
Well, I mean,
what are you going to do in the city?
I'm not going to do anything. He needs his books and stuff, so I want to.
Is there
I want to help
another like
I wanna help
lava
Herbert out.
to Walasp area?
But I don't want to go to Wasp.
Not one that's useful in this context.
Okay.
I don't want to go to Wasp though.
I just figure like in the general vicinity of it, just cutting time off
Can
traveling.
I see the map real quick? I think it's the one that starts with a C.
Oh,
Oh, whoops!
Oh, sorry guys.
I didn't see it.
It looked like broccoli.
I want to go to Cranham.
We're not going to Granum,
We're not going there.
Garnon.
Why not?
Didn't we already discuss this?
Yes.
We did. We discussed that it'd probably be more beneficial.
Because we're fucking up the DM's plans.
Oh, then let's go to Wasp, man. Whatever. I just want to go to a city.
We can go to a city. You can go to Walasp. It's no big deal. It's only a couple days north of the ravine.
We will meet Kandara back in the city after we hit the Sunless Ravine. It will only be a day or two, hopefully, there. And then they can get their research done. We'll meet them up there, and we'll decide what the best course of action is from there. Because I would like to go to the city as well. I need some new
Kandara
studs.
says, I was hoping for you to make introductions to your friend Yenden.
He says, I can happily do that.
Okay.
He says, it's been long enough since I've seen him anyways. But by all means, this is a democracy. I'm not the end-all be-all decision. But I trust Kendar and Herbert.
I do too, and that's not why I was planning to go there. I just wanted to make sure that we
So where's Herbert?
checked in on
Walasp.
affairs.
I want to go there.
Okay.
You know, we've obviously, you've had Genin dealing with affairs in your absence.
Yes, absolutely. And I agree.
We don't know
need
what
to go
we're
to
sending him
Walasp.
into.
I just propose we take a detour on the way there while they go straight there.
We can.
You want to go to the ravine?
Yeah.
All right.
We need more artifacts.
Who wants to go to the ravine first
You wanna
while the
go?
other party continues on to Wasp?
You want to go to the ravine without all these guys?
They wouldn't come with us anyways. The ravine's too dangerous.
Yeah.
Dude, they like.
If they get captured, they're going to be in Wasp anyway.
What if we get captured?
We won't. He doesn't want us. He wants her.
That's true.
If he does
Probably
want
safer
us,
with her, not with us.
Well, then you'll just kill us, which is.
he
You
can
can
try. He's
Alright,
tried how many other times?
I mean, I'll go with them. I mean, I'm not.
To the ravine first or to Wasp
He'll send-
first? Ravine.
I'll
We'll
go
send Pumbaa this time.
Yeah, he sent Tim in. It's
Yeah, I'll
Pumbaa.
go to the ravine. I mean, there isn't. He ain't got anything on us.
We could nickel and dime him. Just keep having him send people. Maybe he will pay him in advance.
I mean, if the rest of the group thinks it benefits us to go to Wasp first, then
No, I'm good with that plan.
Right.
because we do need
I just
restock
figured
supplies and
We
everything
need to get
like
some
that.
studs and that
don't-
too.
So
I
that's
mean,
the.
you're looking for your enhanceability stud.
Would
We
you
need
say
another healing word
we've
stud.
had a long rest after our previous encounters?
Been like 20 days.
I'm gonna go with yes.
Unless you had a really rough bout of
Unless
dysentery.
you're tripping on mushrooms.
All right. So
I wasn't dysentery.
No, that's what I'm saying. I said unless you've had a really rough bout of dysentery.
I wasn't dysentery.
So
He's a cool
Kendara
guy.
says, so we're in agreement. Our group will go and research. Your group will go directly
It's
to
a
the
me,
ravine. We'll reconvene then after
Yeah.
you're done. Okay. Domino, if you would pen me a letter of introduction to your friend Yendon, I would like to use his network.
I can
Oh,
sign it.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll pen it for him.
Okay. As long as there's something.
Thanks, guys.
I'll put all the frilly bits in there for
You're
you
not good at
too.
writing.
He can't.
As in, like, not at all. Yes.
Is your intelligence score lower than mine?
No, he just didn't learn how to read.
No, yeah, it wasn't important.
That's the thing.
All right. Karen Kamanos, you guys are all discussing this, and Karen Kamanos is kind of watching, and kind of like, without prompting, he says, I must admit that I find the use of the corpses of the gods upsetting. But I recognize that our need and the needs of this planet are great. If this blood of everlasting spring is truly the blood of the Scaled King, it will have immense regenerative and healing properties. Possibly more than what you witnessed during your interactions with Eisman, who, as a Sorial, possesses similar powers to those of the Scaled King. I do not know of the politics of Wasp or the entirety of Kendara's situation under her father, Arder Hargroove, but what she says has merit. She and her cousins and Metros are accomplished warriors and can likely protect themselves and Herber within the city. If you do intend on splitting the group, I believe I have something that may be of use. He stands up and wanders away to his former tomb, and the fortress shifts and rearranges itself, and after several minutes it shifts and rearranges itself again, and he returns, and he hands a big, like, slightly larger than a human fist stone to Kandara, and one to one of you guys. He just sets it in the center of the group for one of you to grab.
I'll give it to Domino.
They're almost perfect gray orbs of stone orbs. Like they're a little rough, like they've been chipped and like polished and that sort of thing. And they both have a stud on them.
Just one?
Each stone has one stud on it. He says we called them Brecair stones, Brehkair. They're match set, and tapping the stud in one allows you to speak into it and transmit a message to the other one. If either group runs into trouble, they can notify the other group in real time. Given the distance between the Wasp and the Ravine, it's like 9 days, possibly more. That's not really useful for battle. But at least one group, you'll be able to keep each other, you'll know what's going on.
Yeah.
Additionally, Herbert has a stud that allows him to sense magical energies. The two stones act as beacons to one another. The flow of magic flows from one into the other. So, if your group goes missing, Herbert could activate his stud for detecting magic and track down where you are, even if you can't physically communicate with him, or at least where the stone is.
Do we have a way to do the same?
Not really.
Okay.
Not without detect magic.
Okay. That's on my list of studs to get.
Did you guys tell Carrick Manos about the silver golem and like him being back in the House of Eyes? And
Yeah. Does he know anything about that?
that is interesting. Our vessels, our lava boats, can be linked together in such a way that one ship is capable of directing a fleet of them, sort of like a herding mechanism like you see in some livestock. Perhaps the silver golems of the gods are linked in a similar fashion, with one of them leading them all. I can't, or maybe there is just one silver golem and he jumps from shell to shell based on where he's needed. I don't know much about golems other than what I said last time, which was that there are. Damn it! We're gonna have to fill him in on all the golem types. We'll do that later.
That's okay. I'm imagining like the same number of types as there are metallic dragons.
No.
Bronze, silver,
Copper.
There was the
Gold.
Copper.
the silver, the prism, and the tungsten. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
tungsten.
I forgot.
The
about
tungsten ones
was.
armored in blackstone. Now you know.
Cool. So use magic.
And knowing
now.
is
Got
half the battle.
I cannot speak with any certainty as to what aid it might offer, or whether or not it was being entirely truthful. It very well may be that it still sees you as interlopers and intends on luring you back to the House of Eyes to punish you. It's hard to say.
it. There's only one tungsten golem.
No.
Okay.
There's more than one.
Okay.
You guys saw a golem in the last field with a glass cover on its chest and no head, and there was a human in a harness in the chest of the golem.
Wow.
It's a really weird golem. Alright. Anything else you guys want to discuss with the group? Anything you want to discuss with Carrick Manos? Questions, thoughts, opinions?
Prayers.
No prayers. Gods are dead.
Have you guys fought dragons before?
Only on stage.
Helpful.
Helpful.
Current Manos, anything for us?
I mean, big.
I did actually. I fought it in the sewer.
Well, fair. Sewer dragon. Sewer gator.
What's that?
Said sewer gator.
Yeah, you guys fought the sewer gator. Sewer gator dragon. Carrick Manos says, I've seen dragons. They were much more easily controlled when the Scaled King was around. They were still ornery as fuck and completely untrainable. But, you know, he told them not to attack humans or Goliaths or giants.
That's nice.
And they didn't?
They obeyed him most of the time.
That's nice of them.
Interesting.
They tend to grow as big as can be. As long as they have a plentiful food source, they'll get bigger and bigger. The scale, you're familiar with the scales.
I hear they have a cloaca.
I don't know anything about that. And I don't know anything about that. They have the scales. There's the venom, the very venomous venom. The acid spit, which is just vomit. The teeth. The claws. The claws are a concern. Some of them have the wings. I've seen winged dragons. They're smart.
Would we know about that? Winged dragons?
Yeah, but they typically don't get bigger than a desert raptor.
Okay.
Yeah, like they are not like ginormous, like rock-sized flying dragons.
Okay.
They're mostly reptile, you know. He says they're very intelligent, and the older they get, the smarter they get. so they are coming foes to battle. Like they are not dumb beasts. They understand cause and effect and actions having consequences. And if they are overmatched, they will flee, or they will come at you from a direction you do not expect.
Shifty little fuckers.
They are not little.
Shifty big fuckers.
The little ones are little, but the big ones are big.
Am I the only one that when he said raptors and then he did the come at you from another direction, I'm thinking of that scene in Jurassic Park? Clever girl.
What? Shut up, Kyle. Can we take a break so I can rewrite three quarters of the scenario?
Hey, that was a good scene.
Yeah, was I not supposed to prepare that line? Ready in action.
Yeah. Good times. So many communications.
It's almost as good as the scene in Titanic where they bounce off the propeller. It didn't have a sound effect in the first movie. They re-edited it in the remastered version. Now there's a pinging noise after the body pinwheels off the propeller because so many people liked it.
What is Jacob saying? He's still at work.
I think he's saying if he gets out soon, he'll be over.
Okay. All right.
So like a drunken rampage.
Jacob?
Yeah,
No.
I didn't read it.
Hey guys, still at work. If I get out before soon, I'll fire over there. When we get back from the party, the kitchen was a bit bogged down. Gotta bail him out. Oh, he said so. He got back from the party.
Okay.
No, the kitchen's bogged down. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh. Really
Alright,
shady.
onto the Sunless Ravine.
We ride.
We're all right.
Montage.
It's 30th of second month. You're heading north to Wasp and the Sunless Ravine.
Oh, is it freaking singing to us?
The journey is going to take about 56 days to get to Wasp. I don't have it mapped out for you guys to go directly to the ravine, so that's not a big deal. Some of the times are going to be off. Don't worry, the time doesn't matter.
This is normal. Hand wave.
Anyway, so you're heading north, and north, and north, and north. More north, more north. Eventually, you see a razor storm gusting out of the region of the Fauna Shadows, but like headed south, and it quickly dissipated. Then it's like around for like 3 days, didn't really become a problem. All the vegetation that was alive is now dead. And eventually, at a certain point, you guys split up your group. Now, you probably came around like this way, kind of about this point. Like they went north, you guys went over.
Okay.
Space unicorn.
Do we know where to search in the Sunless Ravine? Like, it's pretty fucking large, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty huge.
Okay.
Space unicorn.
There's
I'd imagine there's maybe we're gonna look for where more of the dragons are. You said it attracts them,
it does.
so I'd probably go towards where like a nest is or something.
Scroll there. Alright, so you guys are heading kind of over to you're heading east towards the ravine, and you can kind of see a large party like to the northeast of your position, kind of raising a lot of debris and dust into the air as they move their wagons and their crowsank and that sort of thing, and start to head north towards Wasp. Whoopsies. If you were to take a spyglass and look at this large party, you would see that it's about 100 warriors, and you would see that they have a flag flying that is a red bird of prey with a blood drop dangling from its talons on a field of black.
Do I recognize this?
Blood raptors.
Ooh.
Hallie's mercenary company.
We can pick up the third contract.
No, it wasn't a contract I was trying to pick up. I just was...
You trying to pick up Hell yet?
No.
She's feisty.
I mean, I'm not gonna check.
I'm not strong.
You're redhead.
Dexterous.
There aren't really any redheads. Well, maybe she's redhead. She shaves her head.
So, I mean, do you guys want to ask them for assistance?
Yeah,
I mean, at least
you can put on a
information.
little speed,
Yeah.
meet up with the Outriders. And
yeah, I
stuff
think
like-
we should.
We might be able to get at least a head start on where to look.
Darn, you agree?
Yeah. I'm down with helping. Or asking for help.
Those are the. Yes.
Yes, let us ask for help or help someone. I am paying attention. I know what is going on right now.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. As long as you're good. Alright. So, you kind of aim your party, put on a little speed with the Crowsank. The large group of warriors, like, they notice your presence, and a couple Outriders kind of ride your way on riding Crowsank, and then make sure you're not, like, a fully armed party. They see you're just, like, 6 dudes and a Crowsank and a wagon. Eventually, you're kind of starting to... Okay, good talk work. You're starting to kind of overtake some of the slower wagons, and you see a lot of people with burns from acid and scars from bite marks, and you're kind of catching up to the wagon full of wounded that's kind of taking it slower across the desert.
You guys?
After you're kind of hanging out like to the left of this large group of people, basically eating their dust. An older lady riding a very sleek and mean-looking riding Crowsank draws up before your party. She's about 6'6".
Holy shit.
That's a big
Lean
lady.
and wiry, with a mirthless face and thin lips. Her head shaved, her face is lined and wrinkled, and it looks like her exposed skin is mostly scar tissue. She's got 3 massive cuts on the left side of her cheek, just below her eye to the jawline. They're not sexy scars or minor cuts. These are twisted and thick scars from wounds that reshaped her face. Like, just something fucking savaged her face and left it in tatters.
Fucking hardcore.
Yeah. She wears heavy leather armor. It's battered and patched and functional. It's covered in feathers and scales and bits of bone from creatures of the deep desert. On one hip is a long fighting knife, almost a sword, but not quite. The other hip is like a single-bitted axe. On her back is a bow and a quiver of arrows. You guys immediately recognize her as Hallie, a Bloodraptor, remembering her from when she offered to hire you after you completed the Great Games of the Wasp. She says, "Ho, travelers! You're heading towards the Sunless Ravine. What's your business there?"
Sure.
And then there's kind of like she's looking at you guys, and it doesn't. She doesn't put it together until she sees Domino's scars, and she says, "Well, if it ain't the abandon,
She doesn't see my shield?
it's on your back. Unless you ride around with your shield out."
I'd
In which
like to
case,
think
yes,
he might.
She does recognize you.
I'm proud as fuck about the shield.
He bought a big giant rake just to hold it up while he's riding.
He's
been, like,
it's like
steering with his
it's like my
knees.
standard.
She looks you guys over, noting your weapons and armor and general appearance of being experienced desert hardasses, and she says, "Looks like you boys did well after the games. Good for you then. What's got you heading for the ravine? If you're looking for work, we got openings, but we're done here. Heading back to Wasp.
What do you mean you're done here?
Cleaned out most of the dragons,
Oh.
enough to where they're not going to be spilling out of there like spiders out of a, I don't know, spider egg."
Spot on analogy.
It happens.
That was in character.
I think Jacob's having a stroke.
Why? Did he say
Did
something?
you just
back?
see his text?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just gibberish.
So, it's got you heading to the ravine.
Looking for an artifact.
Okay. Which one?
The blood of endless summer.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, so I guess we're telling you. We're looking for the blood of endless summer.
Everlasting Spring. But
Yeah, sorry, Everlasting Spring.
Cassius told me wrong. Sorry, my intelligence is low.
I wasn't paying attention.
We're looking for some blood.
Oh, we were.
we need the blood. We want to get up in it.
Figured, I mean, she knows it's there. She's
not.
been in the ravine.
I mean, if
she's
you don't
probably
go
gonna-
straight up with her, how
Does
she
she?
gonna know
Do we
her?
know with this artifact? Like, is it literally just blood, like in a pool?
Blood. It's a big glass vial of blood.
Okay.
She kind of like, oh, okay, all right, yeah.
See, you gotta be straight up with her.
If it's down there, you'll find it with the mother dragon. I mean,
You didn't kill her? Oh. Well, you have a
The dragon hunters didn't kill her, so
I mean, we got the dragons pretty well and cleaned out, or at least as much as I'm willing to shed blood cleaning.
So,
Um,
what would it cost for you to help us?
more than you got.
You sure?
My contract with Wallace was pretty significant.
I mean,
Carter doesn't buy anything else. He might have the gold.
At least to get her to the edge of the ravine.
maybe you don't come down and fight with us, but maybe you come as backup. You know, if we get fucked up, you know, you drag us out of there or something.
I got wounded men that need getting to Wallace.
I mean,
I'm not babysitting.
how many people are in their company?
You should have come with me when I offered you a job. You didn't. Now you got to go down there by yourself.
That is a fair point.
Where will we find the mother dragon?
Just look for the hottest, stinkiest spot down there. She's gonna be with her eggs.
The anus of this place.
She's gonna be with the eggs.
The devil's
and
anus.
She's gonna want the eggs to be in the warmest spot.
Spot drag.
I did.
She's gonna have acid all over the place, spilling, just vomiting out of her guts just to lay claim to the territory. They also throw like meat in the acid so it softens it up and it's easier for the babies to gnaw on.
Something. So,
We're meat.
could you at least give us some pointers on fighting a dragon? I mean, what do we do?
Well, the first thing is, don't, because they're fucking nasty bastards.
Oh, it's okay. We're just gonna go fight the biggest one.
You're just gonna, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, this is no big deal. Don't worry about it.
All right.
The longer we have this conversation, the stupider Domino realizes this is.
I mean, Carnage
She,
is like a drunken
She
super
turns
right now.
back to her mercenaries and she screams out, "Anti-venom!" And this booming commander's voice that like dead men hear and get up and stand and salute to. And a dude dressed in light mail with a spear and a shield comes like riding up on a crowsack and he tosses her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thick glass vials. And then she tosses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one to each of you. And you look at it and it's murky and it has floaters that look like bits of bone and like maybe meat. You're not sure, but it's like neon, like asparagus piss green.
Domino kind of shakes it. I'm guessing this is taken orally.
Yeah, that's the anti-venom for anti-venom. I don't know.
Yeah, but everyone knows it goes faster than bloodstream if you do a suppository. So.
It's almost as bad as their poison, but not quite, and it'll neutralize some of it. Maybe.
Awesome. I love your confidence. Thank you.
It works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. You gotta take it quick because it doesn't last long. You see the bite coming, and it might help.
So it's a preemptive thing. It's not a.
It's not after the effect, and it's not something you take like once 8 hours ago, and then you're good. It's something you.
Like, oh shit, I just got bit. Oh.
You're already
Oh
done.
shit, I'm about to get bit.
Like,
kind of that kind of thing.
okay.
So an immediate reaction type thing.
Yeah. Basically, it quaffs some at the start of a fight with a dragon. You'll be good for 1 dose of dragon venom, and it's not complete protection.
Okay.
And it hurts going down. It deals acid damage when it goes down.
Oh, friggin' sweet.
Speaking of acid, do we have any like, I don't know, like slime or mucus or something that?
Like, cause to protect something from it, you know?
I
No?
thought you were gonna say, speaking of acid, Canathar.
No, Canathar's not here.
I'm not sure I can cover myself in slime. Just
Avoid it.
Bug
I-
guts, I don't know. Something
if you're gonna go down there, you're gonna be breathing foul air and fumes from the dragon's acidic spit. I don't know why the fuck they do it, but they vomit their acid all over the place. They leave rotting meat and junk in it. I think it's because of the babies. The place is thick with pools of acid. The fumes are almost as corrosive as the spit. So if you're going down there, you're gonna need to be quick about it. The longer you're down there, the more it's gonna hurt.
Seems legit.
So when we were down there, we saw a couple types of dragons. You got the horn ones. Those are the little guy. Those are your regular run-of-the-mill dragons. They got spiky frills coming back over their neck. Average, normal, nothing to worry about. It. The others you got the spikers. Spikers are their scales grow out into these big horny spikes, hollow spikes. You gotta be careful stabbing them because you're gonna get stabbed, and their venom comes through their spikes. Their bite ain't venomous anymore, but it's the spikes that are all covered that are their scales. Those are what's dangerous. Then you got the hoppers. You ever seen toads? You sometimes see toads. They're like dragon toads.
The fuck did you just say?
Dragon toads. That's what the hoppers
pleasant.
are. They're about as big as the spikers and the horned ones. They get like 8 or 9 feet long, big old bellies, big old rah, rah. And she does that rah, rah. That's her toad riveting noise. They don't got the long tongues, but their jaws open wide. They can just swallow a recruit or adventurer down right quick. And then you just gotta cut your way out, and that's no fun because there's a lot of acid in there. The bellies are where the acid comes from.
All right.
So wait. All right. So don't get stabbed by the spiky things. Don't go in the belly.
Don't get bit.
Don't get swallowed.
Don't get swallowed.
Don't go in the pools of acid.
So is that like
don't breathe.
Don't breathe.
Those are my 3 choices there. My 3 things.
Then there's the queen. Not queen. They don't have queens. They got the mother. Now she had 3 bulls just getting up on top of her, all up in her cloaca. Now we chased them off, but bulls are little bitches. The mother is the one you gotta be like the older they get, the meaner and tougher they get. But this was kind of a younger one, but still not something you just go into and stab and you're out. This mother's a clacker. Now clackers got beaks. They got beaks that are hard enough to tear through metal. They also clack together. That's why they're called clackers. And they strike sparks, like when you strike flint on steel. Clackers have flammable venom. Acid.
What?
It's the acid. They have flammable acids. So what the queen does, or the mother does, is she spits the acid, clacks her beak. Now you're covered in flaming tar that's burning your skin off.
Twice.
Because
Acid and fire.
acid burns and fire burns.
So.
As far as mechanism of injury, you're only going to feel the burning.
Domino pulls out his map and he's like, "How far away was Wallace?"
Can we hire mercenaries? Is that a thing we can do?
Whose dumbass idea was that?
Not mine.
That's the joke. It was totally dumb.
Now,
I'm not into this.
now the mother dragon she's big. She's, I don't know. We chased off the bulls. We didn't go poking the mother with a stick, but I've seen her because you got to be aware of where they are. As long as you leave the eggs alone and the babies alone, the mother's not going to come out of her area.
Is the blood in her area, you think?
I would be surprised if it's not close enough to be stuffed up in her cloaca.
So you gotta reach up in that cloaca.
I wouldn't reach up in that cloaca, but
The advantage is she can't light you on fire in it.
that's true.
Maybe.
Now, we scouted the mother. She's about
I got a
60 feet long,
She's
10 feet, 12 feet tall, maybe 10, 12
So that's like
feet
an
wide.
average sized dragon. Then.
She's a big girl. She's a couple tons of angry lizard.
So does Blackstone have any protection against acid or
What's
anything?
Blackstone?
She doesn't know what Blackstone is.
It's called Lugau Stone.
Oh, Luge
Karnan would know that the normal name for it is.
I said
Lugau.
Luge
Okay. It won't melt in the acid.
Oh, that's a plus.
Yeah.
your shield's not black.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
I got a Blackstone shield.
Not the one you.
David, Kieran Kamanos made him a new shield.
Oh right, I forgot about that. I'm sorry.
That's 60 feet.
So it's tiny. Does that include that includes the tail, right?
That does include the tail.
Oh!
She says the tail's a good 20 feet long. It's thick like a tree limb. If you stand near it, you're going to get knocked over. Just
So, alright.
avoid the tail, too, as well as the beak and the claws and the teeth and the ass.
So don't get bit. Don't
the
crawl in
fire.
its stomach. Don't touch its spines. I mean, shit. Come on, we can do this, guys. Let's do it.
I, Clint, have faith in you.
You just want to see the world burn, so...
We can always run away. We're good at running.
You ran away from the shadow creature. Everything was fine after that.
So, like,
We should be way more worried about that than this.
Dave. Like that.
Their necks are more like Komodo dragons, so it's right there on the body. It's not like the long serpentine neck. Except for the dragons where it is the long serpentine neck.
But this one is.
This one isn't.
This one. Okay.
Dragons are very varied. They've evolved to fight a lot of different predators and to have a niche in a lot of different ecosystems.
Nice.
I just trying to put it in perspective, the size of this.
Yes.
Oh, can I hit that scoop out? I was going to walk back there, but I'm like, nope, that
I
would
mean,
be
it's
a...
not that bad.
You fought.
We can deal.
We
Did you
can
give
do
me a
it.
course?
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
Will you give me a 20 ounce of pop?
Yeah!
This would be a good spot to take a break real quick, I think.
Yeah, good idea. Alright, we're going to take a break.
You gotta play two rings.
Whoa!
No, I put it that way because it was, like, disproportionate when you said you had a 20-foot tail.
Good. That stuff.
Right.
Alright, we're back. That was kind of a long break, but there were a lot of YouTube videos to watch. And there still are.
You're outnumbered as shit.
Okay. Down in the back there, Dave. Alright, so you're meeting with Halia Blood Raptor. You've asked her some questions. Are there any other questions you want to ask her?
I mean, she gave us some valuable information.
She did.
We know we pretty much probably have to at least go into the Mother Dragon's lair.
I don't think we have to kill the Mother Dragon.
No, we might have to, but I think she agrees that there's a good chance that the Mother Dragon is there. Or that the artifact is in the Mother Dragon's lair.
That seems a reasonable assumption.
I don't know if any other advice that we would need other than don't get bit or breathed on or breathe or...
Wear a damp cloth over your faces. It'll help filter out, like, some of the hot, sulfurous air.
Makes sense.
So, yeah.
Well, if there's nothing else you can think of, thank you for all of the wisdom you've imparted on us.
No problem. Just go over to our camp and just head on down. There might be some rope and stuff if you guys want to rappel down or if you got climbing gear. You know, just...
I don't think we brought any climbing gear.
Yeah, we're probably rappelling down.
You guys got plenty of gear.
Oh.
All kinds of gear.
Unless we could rappel down onto her nest.
That sounds like a great idea. Engage her while we're on the side of a cliff.
She's gonna pick us up and drop us on anyway.
Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, her claws are really good for climbing.
Well, I figured.
That's my thing, yeah. I want to be able to run away. I want to be able to run away if we have to.
Right.
Whereas just like...
Climbing back up.
I don't want to be a pinata, is what I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, she can get some pretty good distance on the acidity spit, even going straight up.
Yeah.
It
was just a thought.
I do not vote for climbing down that cliff. That's not what...
I just was thinking about it. It minimizes our exposure to the acid vapors. It, you know, we're not going to go across too many other dragons, hopefully.
I mean, if we could rig up some kind of elaborate pulley system where we cut the rope and it pulls us up,
No.
then I think that's a good idea.
You're the highest intelligence score. We're away.
Me and Cassius are the same.
Oh, so I'm the highest.
We're both very average.
I'm wasted. You don't want me doing that.
Well,
I don't think I'm drunk and
I
care.
guess we'll just head down on the camp.
Hallie was like, all right, bye.
Thanks again, Halia.
Thank you.
Don't die. Or die, one of the two.
Trying not to.
Do they have any, like, dragon hides?
Yeah, but not for you.
No, I meant, like, is there any that are left down there, or?
I mean, there are dragons down there, and there might be scales down there, and cut up bits of dragons, but like,
Could I mean, would she sell us some dragon hide?
how much you want? Do you want scales or hide?
Are
I
they
mean-
acid resistant?
Yeah.
So
Both of
how
them?
much would it take to cover my shield?
Okay, yeah. I mean, can you cover your shield though? Like, do you have that ability?
I'm
How
thinking
would
more
you
like
cover your blackstone shield in scales?
I'm thinking more like just something to drape over yourself.
That's what
Like-
I'm thinking. Like, it's still attached to the skin. You could kind of drape it over
I'm
and
not.
tie it,
Obviously, we can't fashion anything quick.
tie it around it.
Yes. I mean, how?
I can get my drill press out, drill some holes in the.
That's not how it works.
Oh. Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want scales, you can get some scales. If you want some hide, you can get some hide.
I'll hold on.
How much are we talking here?
Several hundred gold.
Per scale?
No,
For all of it?
for all of it.
Do you think there would be a way that I could attach scales to my shield?
Well, like it's
In a temporary fashion right now, but in the future, make them more permanently adhered.
you could do it temporarily now, but like it's raw, like hides.
It's not cured yet.
It's not cured. The scales are gonna very quickly fall off. Like normally when you're making dragon scale or dragon hide armor, you cure the leather like you would in the tanning process, and you take the scales and you fix them to a frame like scale
Which is
nail.
actually a very horrible job, by the way.
But let's say, could it potentially impact one blow
Potentially, it could offer you some protection.
against one blow? Or multiple, maybe.
Maybe multiple blows. It's hard to say at this point.
Hard to say what the D100 says.
But I don't need a dice roll to tell me what's gonna happen when you get hit with acid.
So, it would be reasonable to say that I could possibly take those scales and get them permanently affixed to the shield in the future. If I purchase them from her.
If I may, Garden. Will that make your Blackstone shield any more effective against acid?
Yeah, you've already got it.
It's already
Acid
Blackstone.
But it's got dragon scales on it.
I mean, yes, it looks cool. I'd buy some, but I wouldn't worry about fixing it right now. Unless it's like a diversion technique or something like that.
Whatever you want to do, man.
Does the shield, out of character, does the shield already has resistance to all that?
The shield is pretty much immune to any damage that could be brought against it. At this
Okay,
point.
so it's still the dragon scale would do
Except
that.
Except
for
Kyle's rapier.
Rapier.
Except Kyle's rapier, which could scratch it,
Okay,
possibly damage it further.
well, just for the badass effect, I'd like to buy some dragon scales from her.
How many you want?
I mean, let's say just enough to coat my shield on the front of it, cover it up, make a nice pattern on the front.
Okay, again, should get you some big dragon scales and call it 500 gold.
I was just gonna say that. Man.
I'm not gonna settle this now, but when we get into Wasp, I'd like to upgrade my armor to the dragon leather. I just figured she'd point a couple references towards maybe some people she'd trust.
Okay.
So, but
Alright, they're gone. You guys are there. You see the scattered remains of the camp of the Blood Raptors. Lots of bits and pieces of weapons, armor, trash. They cleaned up, but not super cleaned up because it's the desert and nobody lives here. It's rough terrain. There's jagged rocks and crumbling stone, and there's kind of a 100-foot slope kind of leading to the bottom of this portion of the ravine. the very bottom of the ravine is kind of, there are different levels of it. Like there are spots where it's only 100 feet below the main surface of the desert. There are spots where it's 200 or 300 or 50. It varies because it covers a lot of area. If you look at the map there. So you want to wait a bit? You want to head down now?
Head down now.
All right. Do you guys set up ropes and pitons and crampons and all the climbing gear that I don't know all the name of?
Sure.
I want a way back up. Yes.
Okay. So you set up ropes and anchor points and all that kind of jazz, and you hammer stuff into the rock, and you're making slow progress and hammering things in and hammering things in. Go ahead and make strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics checks, whichever you feel like doing.
18.
Nice.
Plus 7.
14.
19.
19. All right. 14.
Yeah.
Cassius does fine for most of the trip down, but like just on the final leg, some rubble slips out from under him, loses his balance, falls to the ground, kind of rolls and clatters the rest of the way. Takes like 7 bludgeoning damage. You guys are fine. Hey, look, Cassius fell. Cassius stands up. He's fine.
Cassius, you alright?
Yep. I'm fine. Just hurt my pride.
Is the spear ignited?
Do I see any dragons?
No, not right now.
No, it's not.
Okay. Do you have the skull turn with you?
I have the skull turn with me, but it's not open or...
Okay. Do you have oil in there, like, just waiting for something to light it up, or are you prepared to light it?
I was going to ask that, because you said that it can emit healing with the sun. Down here, do we have sunlight? Or?
A little bit. Enough to get some.
Okay. I mean, if not, I can pour oil in it.
Yeah. You should be okay.
Okay.
So, you're all down here, all 3 of you, and despite the name, it's not entirely sunless. The terrain looks like there's a general trend towards heading lower, with the ravine becoming narrower. But there's a huge crack in the earth above your heads, letting all the sunlight down here. Looking around, it looks like the central crack, or whatever you want to call it, is pretty well lit from above. With Domino's spear, it would be perfectly illuminated.
Well, if that's the case, if we're having trouble seeing, I'll ignite it.
You're not having a super lot of trouble. It's just, like in this main ravine, you're pretty well lit. But
Okay.
there are branching side passages and tunnels like dug into the rock with claws.
Okay.
It stinks like vomit and sulfur and rotting meat and ass, and it's warm and a little humid. And like you wouldn't there's no like obvious signs of lava, but you wouldn't be surprised if like they're like right nearby. Like there are definitely volcanic vents like pumping heat and sulfuric gases and that sort of thing. There's also a very faint breeze, but it's a hot one that smells like sulfur, so it's not the wind. It's these fucking vents that are probably all over the place down here. As you're looking around and taking your surroundings, you can feel a warm, itchy, tingling sensation in your eyes and nose and mouths, and as you guys are breathing more and more, like your lungs start to feel like just like ugh, like after you smoke like a pack of cigarettes, your lungs are kind of feeling like that. If you've ever done that, I've done that. It's not a good sensation.
But I'm guessing it's bad.
It's bad.
It's not great.
So the goal here is to find the Blood of Everlasting Spring, which Halia told you is going to be with the Mother Dragon. And, you don't have a precise location for it, but you're looking for heat, and heat is going to be indicated by volcanic vents and how warm it is and that sort of thing. So, it's a very, very large place. It would be exhaustive for me to map. So we're kind of going to do it like last time, where we're just kind of hand wave transitions from areas. We're going to rely on skill checks for you guys to navigate. Every failed check is going to means it takes longer. You guys get distracted or get lost or misjudge where you're heading. The longer it takes, the more acid damage you're going to take. You're basically taking every second you're down here, you're basically taking minuscule fractions of acid damage. So when we get to a new scene, you'll take a little acid damage. The longer you're down here, the more acid damage you'll be taking. But you guys have those damp cloths that you've all dampened and put over your faces, so that will help. Seem reasonable?
Yeah.
Seem fair enough? Alright. So how are you going to try and track down the mother dragon?
I mean, she said basically go down to the deepest, hottest place, right?
Yep.
So yeah, that makes sense.
So, I don't know if this helps. I am a ranger, and desert is my favorite terrain. Would this count as desert? Sorry.
Probably.
Okay. At least to some advantage on.
It is a desert.
Okay.
It's a desert. Fuck you.
Sorry.
Forgot you're a ranger.
I took it over a fighter, but I haven't used much.
How convenient that desert is your favorite terrain.
Yes.
It's the only terrain that's there.
Pretty
so-
much the only
I mean,
didn't take
Arctic
rain-
wouldn't make sense.
Good move, yeah, good move. Not picking forest.
You
Yes.
didn't take rainforest.
Wait till you get to the shadows of the source. There are forests there.
I'm sure there are, and I'll be fucked.
You'll have
So
one.
does that offer any sort of like tracking benefit or sensing benefit?
I'll read it.
Okay.
Difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel. Your group can't become lost except by magical means. Even when you are engaged in another activity while traveling, such as foraging, navigating, or tracking, you remain alert to danger. If you're traveling alone, you can move stealthily at a normal pace. When you forage, you find twice as much food as you normally would. While tracking other creatures, you also learn their exact number, their sizes, and how long ago they passed through the area.
That's natural explorer.
Yep.
All right. So you're going to try and find more Taz. Cool. Who wants to make the perception check to kind of? All right. Is it warmer over here? Is it warmer over there? Is it warmer here? Is there wind coming from over here?
I'd say it should be Cassius,
I'll
being
give
the
it a shot.
ranger.
Okay.
That's
I
my
have
vote.
a +5. I don't know what you.
I have a +5 as well.
Good.
23.
All right. Everyone make a Constitution check.
This is where I go.
Check or save.
Save. Make a
Save?
Constitution save. Sorry.
12.
19.
23.
Okay. All right. You all take 1 point of acid damage. It's very deadly. Very, very deadly. So you wander around for about an hour, and Cassius is kind of in the lead. It's hot, and Cassius is kind of like sniffing for sulfur. You know, kind of like touching rock. Is it warm here? Is it warm here? The ravine forks here. Walk a little ways down. It's cooling down, guys. Walk back. You know, you're making decent progress. You're seeing claw marks all over everything. You're seeing little discarded bits of scale, maybe an eggshell over here, maybe like someone's melted boot. You know, there was fighting here. Dragons have been here. It smells like bile and rotting meat and sulfur. You know, the rock is hard. It's gray. You know, it's very exciting. You occasionally find a puddle of acid. You know, and the pools are kind of weird because like the acid is clearly like eating down deep. You know, so you find like little droplets over here that are like long, like finger deep puddles, little holes in the ground, and like there are longer, wider like actual pools. It's a dangerous place, full of acid and death.
Dude, is this acid all from the dragons?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not very nice.
Is Jacob on his way?
No, my wife's just going to bed.
Good night, Heather.
Hey, Heather.
Fucking dragons. They're just disgusting, ornery punks. So you know, you're making perception checks. You're watching your six. You know, you're doing the heat sense thing. You're sniffing the air. All the things you should be. You occasionally move through crisscrossing passages. You occasionally hear hidden claws scraping on rocks nearby or hissing noises above your heads. And not like large, like I'm a 40-foot long dragon hissing noises. It's more like I'm a compy-sized dragon hissing. You know, nothing really jumps out at you. Nothing really tries to jump out at you. And you kind of come across like a side chamber that was dug out of the rock with big claws. And like you kind of, like maybe Domino lights up his spear and kind of shines it inside. And there's this chamber that's about maybe like a 20-foot wide circle. And the floor is mostly covered in this puddle of like yellow-green acid. And the acid is only a couple inches deep, but it's pretty pungent. And the floor is nice and smooth and pockmarked in spots. The stone walls are kind of pockmarked as well. The acid has clearly been here a while, and it's been slowly eating through the rock. Floating in the acid are kind of what look like gnawed-on or corroded bits of meat and bone. And about 15 feet away from you, like on the far side of the chamber, is a small flat outcropping of stone. Like the acid kind of pooled in a pre-existing like depression in the stone and then melted further. So about 15 feet away from you is this little island of stone, and kind of half on it is the skeleton. The upper body of the skeleton is kind of laid on this like someone fell on this portion of the stone, and their lower body looks mostly disintegrated except for their leather armor. The leather armor, the corpse is wearing a suit of just like kind of greenish leather armor, completely undamaged by the acid.
Interesting. Dragon Dragon leather.
Looking at the skeleton carefully, you think you can see what looks like a stud dangling off the bones of its right hand. But you know, whatever.
This is in the middle of a lake of acid.
There's island of stone, body half on it, 15-foot wide, kind of curving pool of acid, and you guys.
I want that.
I can't clear it myself.
How far of a jump would it be?
15 feet.
Would you like to know the jumping rules?
Yeah, because I'm gonna jump it.
If you move 10 feet, you can jump equal to your strength score.
Okay, I jump. My strength
I
was
can.
20.
Yeah, so I can clear that.
Okay. Did you both go, or just you?
I'm not going.
Okay, so you get over there.
I won't touch studs. So
My bones crack as I land.
It is in fact a stud. It looks like a stud. It's got that little black and the ring of circle. You can probably like lift up the arm and pull it out of the acid. It's completely undamaged by the acid.
I do so.
You touch it and it gives a sense of a spell that wards off death blows. Kind of something protective that wards off death blows.
I implant it.
What does that do? I forget. What are the rules on implanting studs? I think it does like 1d4 damage. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Take 2 damage. You're
Okay.
fine. Everything's fine. It is a death ward with a 4th level spell slot.
Death ward with 4th level.
Yes.
Okay.
You're automatically stabilized when you drop to 0 the
Not
first
true.
time. Oh, no? It changed?
The version I saw was
Okay.
different than that.
I'll find out.
Unless I read it wrong. One of the two. We'll look it up if it becomes relevant.
And then what about his leather?
Leather's completely undamaged. It's not like a particularly fine suit, but it's very functional. Just like a standard sort of like sewn, like not sewn together leather armor. It doesn't look like thread that's sewn the portions together and sewn the layers together. It looks
Like more leather?
like bowstring, because bowstring is typically made out of like sinew, I think. If I remember right.
Yes.
It's dragon sinew. It was sewn together with dragons. It's dragon leather armor.
Okay.
It is.
I kind of asked, do any of you guys want...
Does it look like it'll fit?
Yeah.
Jacob just texted me directly and said just left.
Yep, he just said. Okay.
Yeah, I'll throw that on.
Okay, I kind of try to tuck it under my arm or put it in a bag, whatever, best I can do, and jump back across.
Just because if there's any...
What's half your strength score? Because that's all you can cover.
10.
All right, you land in the acid.
Fuck. Alright, well, let's boogie.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw.
Dex?
Yeah. kind of like, I gotta run out of here.
14.
You don't have
Nice.
key points.
What?
I was like, wait a minute, he's a monk, but he doesn't have key points, so he can't.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You kind of like land in the acid and wobble a little bit because you're carrying a burden of other armor, but you manage to like leap the.
Like my feet would land, but I
Yeah, you kind of
dive sideways.
You kind of fall out laterally and like lift your legs up.
Nice.
So you do get splashed with a little bit of acid. It deals 4 damage.
Okay. 4 damage. I can handle that.
All right.
I'll open up the lantern real quick and just top everyone off with some hit points.
Okay.
Just because he...
How much do you take?
I've taken 7 total since we've been done.
Never mind then.
Yeah, well, I'm okay.
I was gonna say
Okay.
I'm at 66 out of 67.
Okay. Never mind then. I'll
We're
wait
at
till we get
51
lower.
out of 58.
You're not doing it.
No, I'll wait till we
Okay.
get... I thought he was a little bit more
Okay,
damage than
nope.
that.
All right. So you get back to navigating. Go ahead and make me another wisdom perception check. Whoever wants to.
I actually think I'm the highest in the group, so I'll check with you. Ooh, 24.
24. Good. Good.
Yeah, that's way better than mine.
I'm rolling hot right now.
Everyone make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that's not great.
Great.
Oh no, it's
Nice.
okay. Never mind, I couldn't read it. 18.
18.
12.
All right. You all take, because you're wearing the masks and you all successfully save, you do take 1 acid damage.
1 acid.
I'm going to put the armor on.
That happened 5 more times.
The
I'm
armor
in
will
trouble.
not protect your lungs.
Yeah, I'm aware. I
Okay.
was noting that.
It is +1 leather armor.
Okay.
That is
Ooh.
immune to acid. While wearing it, you have resistance to acid.
Sweet.
You do that to me 65 more times, I'm in trouble.
You only have 65 hit points.
67.
I only have 58.
Only. I was gonna say, I think I've got the
I
highest
got
hit point pool.
62.
I think I got the highest pool in the group.
If I remember right, the benefit of Death Ward is that if an attack would reduce you to 0 hit points, it instead reduces you to 1.
That's kind of nice.
Duration 8 hours. So yeah, I tap that stud and activate it.
Okay. 3 times?
Click
Oh,
your
I can
heels.
do it for everyone, can't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do it for everyone.
Oh boy.
And since Turok is technically on his way, I do it for Turok too.
Okay.
So 4 times.
First
That's
one.
4 rolls. In a
First one, you cast it. Who do you cast it on?
Myself first.
Okay. I got a 1. You immediately drop to 0 hit points with no save. So you're at 1 hit point.
Yay!
Hey, you might want to open your lantern now.
Oh, his fucking stud is broken!
Oh, I just think I died.
It took a little bit of
Oh my god.
See, he takes a little bit of damage from the acid. I'm just adding the +1.
Cassius! Lantern!
I take the lantern and like the beam and shine it right at him in the bright light. You take... Sorry.
Karnan understands that he'll probably get slapped for this,
+5.
but he reminds everybody this is why he doesn't play with studs.
No, Donald, point taken.
14 HP.
Do you guys stay in the? Do you two stay in the light enough to where you feel healthy, but before like the burning sensation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you let yourself heal up.
Do I have that option to heal all the way up before?
Yeah, you can stand. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I do so.
Okay.
Okay.
You stand there. You take a little bit of hit point. Take a little bit of hit point. Takes me like how many hit points do you have?
58.
58. So it'd take what? A couple rounds. Does 2d? What does it do? 2d8 plus 5.
2d8 +5.
So the 5, 9, 13. So 5 rounds. But it takes like half a minute. You're back to normal.
Okay. I bathe in the glorious
And you
light.
guys kind of take like a stick or something and knock down the beams on the panels on the skull turn.
Does Cassius and I gain hit points back?
Yeah, you're all healed up. It's fine.
Thanks, Cassius.
Do you want to continue?
I mean, as long as we don't take exercises at jumping.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the first one I'm gonna do another one on me.
Okay. Everything works fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll repeat it and hope everything.
Who's
works
next?
fine. Cassius.
You're poisoned.
I'm poisoned, or he's poisoned.
You're poisoned.
Okay.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Bro, you don't have to use it on me.
12.
Okay, you're still poisoned.
Is it studded leather?
Well,
or
I
is it
use
just
that on
regular
Turok
leather?
then next.
Leather, okay.
You don't have to
Turok?
use it on me. Don't hurt yourself.
You immediately drop to 0 hit points.
What the fuck?
Stop!
Make a Constitution saving throw.
19.
All right, you're fine. You don't drop to... I just imagine you like... All right, I think I'm okay. So you have Death Ward, Cassius has Death Ward, and Turok has Death Ward.
Alright. Are you and I'm at 1 hit point.
No, you're max.
Okay.
You're max. Yeah, you almost dropped to 0, but you made your save. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, gotcha.
You made your save.
You sure, Karin? I mean,
Dude, you've almost fucking died twice.
I didn't live this long in the desert without learning a few tricks.
Jacob's not making it tonight.
Did you just say that?
Yeah.
Bummer.
Okay, well, I never mind. I use it on Karin instead of Jacob.
Okay.
Do I have to have a scary dice roll?
No.
He's taking the
Do you want to
effect
resist
from
the
it.
spell?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
You know you want it.
I really don't, but
The next time you drop to 0 hit points, you would instead drop to 1.
it's a spell. I
It's
don't
a
like
spell.
spells.
You've taken healing before.
That's accurate.
Yeah, it's the same as him shooting his beam at you.
Whoa.
You bathed in the light of a dead god's skull.
Whoa. Yo, light. Yo, light.
So you guys are
You let Cassie shoot his beam all over your face.
Yo, light.
Fine.
You guys now it took about 18 seconds to cast the spell.
Okay.
Before that was about 30 seconds worth of you like, oh my god, I almost just died, and
Yep.
now I'm healing.
Yep.
At this point, after casting the spell the third time, which may have been on Karnan or Turok, we don't know yet, that's when you guys feel the tingly, overcharged sensation return to your studs.
Does the dagger do anything if I bathe it in the light?
What dagger?
The healing dagger.
No.
Okay. Noted.
Guys, what is that?
I don't know.
Is it raining?
Do you feel that?
No.
What's what?
What's
Shit,
what?
time is it? What time is it? What? Oh my gosh, if it rains? Oh, what time is it? Oh, golly. So...
What's what?
Our studs, they're tingling again.
Checkbox.
That just means we're super powerful.
Yeah.
I clicked my spear on to look inside the little cubby or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I left that on, just to be clear.
Okay.
Alright. It's probably really hot with my spear
It
on.
is really hot.
What if that summons that shadow creature again?
Well, that's fucking stupid. We'll deal with it.
Yeah.
And the
We don't
mother
know that
dragon!
that's what
We'll
caused
deal with
that
it and the
tingling
mother
sensation.
dragon!
We don't know that it didn't either.
And the mother dragon! All at the same time. That's fucked.
Can I make a perception check to see if I
We
notice
won't be
anything
burning it
else?
for cold.
Like,
That's accurate.
What's that?
maybe
the
make a
shadow
perception
fucker
check
will
to see if we
fight the
notice
mother
anything
dragon.
along with the tingling of the studs. Like anything we noticed that may have caused that.
You know, you're feeling that tingly sensation in the studs, and you're looking around and like it's hard to notice because your spear's on, and when it's fully powered, your spear sheds very bright light for
Right.
about 40 feet. But you know, you're looking up, and the sun just doesn't seem as close as it was when you guys went down there. It's like it's further away and like not trying to kill you all quite so much. kind of similar to the way it was when you first got up to the surface and the rain was coming down and everything, and like it cleared away. And man, the sun's just like comfortably far away now.
So is this like a happy time type thing? Or is that something that should alarm us?
I personally, I would find it as alarming as I found the rain in a desert that I'd never experienced.
I was pretty alarmed by that.
Alright, guys, let's find this dragon and get the hell out of here.
And we know it has a global reaching effect, or at least over the whole continent.
And I've decided it's like 4 in the afternoon.
It's 4 in the afternoon.
Does anyone remember when it was raining?
Noon to
2.
Noon to 2.
2 hours straight, torrential downpour out of nowhere.
And this was on for a couple days.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen rain since, right? We traveled
Nope.
for 20 days.
No
Okay.
rain.
Just making sure.
Pretty
that we
much
still
all the vegetation in the desert that had cropped up from the rain
has died.
has died. Like almost on the first day afterwards, and it's
That's a
been a
fucking
month.
sad story.
Okay.
Poor
Alrighty.
vegetation.
It's at this point it's 4th month. That was in 2nd month when the rain happened. Like going back and forth from the last field,
Okay.
coming up here north was like 20 days almost. But it's like 4th month now. So you're heading down a side passage, kind of following like volcanic vents and like the smell of sulfur and heat and that kind of thing. You're seeing scratches on the rocks from dragons and that sort of thing, and you start to hear hissing growls and noises that sound like two clubs being cracked against one another from further on.
Oh.
Like a clacking noise?
Like 2 clubs being whacked together.
I don't like that.
I think that's where we need to go.
So,
Yep. I'm ready to cautiously go in that direction.
You guys using stealth? With
Yeah.
the giant 40-foot light spear.
I think at this
Maybe
point,
just hide it behind your back.
I think at this point we've pretty much negated stealth. Like,
maybe I can go ahead and attempt stealth.
you're wearing plate mail. I mean, we'll probably
No.
be better off having a big, bright.
I'm not wearing plate mail. I'm wearing chain mail.
Oh,
It
still.
doesn't do anything to stealth, does it?
Yeah, you get disadvantage on your
I think
dex
this is
and
advantage.
disadvantage on your stealth.
Is it on all decks? I thought it was just stealth.
Wait a
I think
minute.
it's stealth.
He
Can
rolled.
you...
He rolled stuff with it changes with
Clint.
It
your armor.
affects it reduces how much dexterity applies to
Yeah.
AC, saving throws, and initiative.
Do I have this row wrong on my Blackstone chainmail? It says Warren Shield, but when I wear the shield and armor
When you have the shield and armor together,
I
you
have advantage on
saving throws versus magic and resistance to magical damage.
Okay, I typed it out, advantage on saving throws and resistance to magic damage. I didn't know if it was... I typed it wrong.
Okay.
I thought the way I typed it was I had advantage on saving throws, period,
Okay.
and resistance to have magic damage.
Okay.
But it's advantage on saving throws against magic.
Yes.
Okay. Just clarifying. I know now. So chainmail does have disadvantage on saving throws?
I believe
or
so.
on
I'm not positive.
It's
without-
heavy armor.
I'm not positive without looking at the rules, but
well, if it doesn't, which, look, God, I'm freaking wasted right now.
what is happening to Dave?
I'm drunk.
You would need breastplate to be.
You're... Oh boy, I haven't had alcohol in so long. It didn't do well to me.
Yeah, you have disadvantage.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also stone and heavier.
The heaviest
metal.
armor you can have is breastplate.
What's... Oh yeah, chainmail with the disadvantage. You know what? I got it lucky. Let's do it.
Attaboy. I also like to live dangerously.
Okay, so... I'm gonna have to roll...
2d20.
Well, and then an additional D20 for each of them, because I can technically do that and then make the decision after the fact. So
I'm already in action for when you inevitably get into combat.
How does Lucky work again?
You can,
I can read
roll
it.
up to 3.
So you can spend, when you make an attack roll, an ability check, or saving throw, you can spend 1 luck point to roll an additional D20. You can choose to spend one of your luck points after you roll the dice, but before the outcome is determined.
Okay.
So you can choose to use it after the die is rolled.
But before you say yes or no, failed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll a die. Roll the disadvantage die.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll for for normal and disadvantage first. I just dropped a die.
Now there you go.
It's clear green.
I'll find the E-roll.
It's right there. I got it. Okay. So this is that. Okay. So that one's a 5.
Get your spear ready.
Wait a minute. What am I doing?
I don't know.
It's ready.
Okay. I screwed up. Okay. So we'll just use the green ones. So that's a 5.
And a 19, so you have to take the 5. There's a luck point.
8. Well,
Okay.
no. If I use it.
You have to use it. You just re-rolled.
That's not how the thing is written. We went over this last week with attack rolls. I looked it up online, how other people have ruled it, but
I mean, I think it's going to be better just to go in because we've made noise, we've made light. You know, dragons are predators.
You can choose to spend one of your luck points after you roll the die, but before you use for the attack roll.
Okay.
Yep.
Now I understand. Yeah.
okay.
All right, you're right.
So
So
stealth is +4. So I'm not fucking spending it because either way I fucked up. So we have a 9. Let's do this. Game on, bitches. That's a 9.
it's okay. The dragons rolled 21 for their perception.
Let's do it. Fuck this. That's no different than us walking in now. So, other than the fact I expected to not be fucked in the ass, and now I'm gonna be fucked in the ass. So,
You'll be fine.
I death warded all of us. We're fine.
Yeah.
except for the part where we're not.
No, we got this.
No, that just means when the dragon
The reason I
swallows
think
us, we'll
it's
be
like
conscious.
that, Clint, is because the literal way it's wrote, every time I use it, I'd be spending 2 points.
Right, Kevin?
Would you? How? Why?
Because the literal way it's wrote, if you read it literally how it says, let me find it again here.
Whenever you make an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw,
You
can
could spend one luck point to roll an additional d20. So literally, as it's wrote, I'd be spending a luck point when I roll that die. And then I can choose to spend the luck point after I roll the die. Like, it's worded bad.
Yeah, it's bad wording.
Because it almost makes it sound like you spend 2 luck points.
I don't think you do.
But I don't either, so that's why I've always
Wait a minute.
interpreted it.
You head down the passage
And I
stealthily.
fucking didn't go stealthy at all because I rolled a 9. So
Eventually, you come to a wide circular chamber about 40 or 50 feet across and maybe 20 feet high. It all looks like it was dug out by claws. On the far end of the room is a deep-looking puddle of neon green, yellow acid. And kind of lying, partially submerged in it, is kind of like a pyramid of these pale white eggs. Each of which is small enough that you could hold it in the palm of your hand. There's maybe 24 eggs. Sitting on each side of the egg pile are what can only be described as 9 or 10 feet long toads, armored in thick greenish-brown scales. They have big barrel chests, wide mouths. The toad dragons are kind of staring directly at you guys with these big, unblinking, bulbous eyes. And they're kind of like tensing their rear legs, which are very frog-like, to...
I'm trying the massive thing that's going to kill us.
Okay. Their weird legs kind of tense up like they're ready to leap, but they don't leap. Now, between you and them are these two 10-foot long, several hundred pound like horned dragons with those frill of like bony spikes, and they've got low to the ground like lizard bodies, and they're kind of like raising up and like clawing at each other and kind of bashing their heads into one another in some sort of maybe like mating display or something.
These are the bulls.
They're young boys. They're young boys. They're baby bulls. And they're just kind of completely oblivious to their presence. They are just going at each other like ba-donk, donk, bang, claw. Just like hissing and kind of making these low growls and stuff at one another. The hopping dragons are kind of like looking at you guys like ready to attack, but not like overtly. Like they're kind of staying like right by those eggs. What do you guys do?
Do we see the mother dragon?
No. No, she would not fit in this room based on Hallie's description.
I guess make a quick perception check. Do we see anything that could be like the vial?
No.
No. There's no reason to go near the eggs unless we know there's a vial there. But she said to be by the mother dragon, she'd be by her eggs, and as long as we leave the eggs alone, she'll leave us alone. But
Should we take
they
out
also
the
eat
eggs?
whoever drinks the blood.
They don't eat. They go after.
They go after.
They just want to get up on them. You.
Is it reasonable to think we can sneak past?
There's nowhere to go. Like you've come to a dead end. Maybe the air currents from the vents like led you wrong, but this particular hallway dead ends in this passage, this room chamber thing. You're gonna have to go back out to the main ravine and kind of try and get a better heading.
I say we go back. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we're looking for the mother dragon. So
We don't see any sign of the blood, right?
No.
Yeah, let's get out of here if we can.
All right, you guys kind of back away carefully. The hopping dragons kind of like ease the tension in their back legs, and the horned dragons just continue rolling and whipping their tails around and clawing at each other, never having been aware of your presence.
Nice.
All right, make another navigation check, or make another navigation check. Whoever's who's navigating.
Cassie says.
spend it.
For better or for worse.
So this is right for this is right there. That's interesting.
13.
Okay. Everyone make a Constitution save.
18.
Nat 20.
Nice.
9.
Ooh.
Yeah. You love when the DM says, ooh.
So you two take no acid damage.
Oh, thank you.
You take 1, Kevin.
Oh, okay. I can deal with that.
Yeah, the only time the acid damage starts to get really dangerous is if you start failing the navigation checks, and you guys are doing fairly well with those.
Well, that's good.
That's a positive thing.
So you kind of journey through this passage and kind of come out, and you kind of think you figured out where you went wrong. There's
I don't agree
basically
with
a kind of hallway nearby that's down a fork in the tunnel. That's just like one big massive vent belching smoke and sulfur and stuff out into the air. Once you get past that, though, you kind of start to get a better handle on like warm stones and like bigger claw marks from dragons and that sort of thing. In the main crack of the ravine, and it kind of forks into 2 wide channels. The terrain is still the same toxic, rotten smelling nastiness. Kind of leaning towards the left, you kind of touch the stone and it's a little bit warmer on the ground, and maybe it's a little more sulfurous. The right side kind of goes up. The right crack in the ravine goes up. The left crack goes down. You guys go left, or do you go right?
Right.
Up or
We want to go down.
yeah,
Left is down,
left is down.
and also warmer.
I thought you said right went down. Sorry.
I said right.
Okay, the one that goes down.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, you guys go left. All right. Make a navigation check with a wisdom perception for me.
23.
Jesus Christ. Everyone make a constitution check.
Here's where I roll low.
Oh boy.
20.
20?
Nat 20. I spend a luck point.
I don't know what she actually looks like, but I'm just trying to make her look scary.
That works.
What's going on?
I got unplugged.
One unplugged.
So while he's doing that, Clint,
Table.
interesting. Right from Wizards about what the lucky feat.
Uh-huh.
It's even more overpowered than that when it comes to advantage and disadvantage.
Uh-huh.
They state that if you roll 3 dice, so you roll advantage or you roll disadvantage, you roll 3 dice, right? You have your normal roll, your disadvantage, and your lucky die.
Mm-hmm.
You get to choose whichever one out of those 3 to use.
Right.
Not just you're taking your lowest roll and rolling that for lucky, which is what I just did.
Uh-huh.
So I rolled a 19 and a 3, and I re-rolled basically the 3, was how I was interpreting it. But they're saying I could have taken that 19.
Oh, okay.
That seems overpowered to me.
Con saving throw, you said?
Yeah.
So, anyway, just...
What do you think it is? It's a natural 1.
Okay.
So that's 6.
All right. You all take 1 acid damage. It doesn't really matter. The damage amounts are just so low. Between the resistance from the heavy cloth that's soaked with water and...
With a natural 20,
Fine, you take 0.
I'll take 1. I don't care.
All right. You head down to the depths of the ravine on the left, and you start to enter into an area with a lot more yellow-green acid pools with lots and lots of bits of rotting, partially melted meat in them. The ground around you is basically a carpet of broken eggshells. Some of them more intact ones look to be about a foot long. As you travel, the ravine winds, and you begin to hear faint hissing noises and small claws skittering across the rocks. The sounds are occasionally punctuated by what can best be described as squeaky reptilian squawking noises. A wisdom perception check made on your behalf reveals that you are surrounded by dozens of little babby dragons. They're on the rock walls above you. They're kind of like in the pools of acid, like their eyes are the only part that are poking up. You know, like one of them's hiding in a puddle of acid completely submerged, but its tail is poking out, so it's not really hard to see where it is. And these are all like little guys, like this. So these are like the size of Shih Tzus. These are not dangerous in and of themselves, other than the fact that there are lots of them. And they're all kind of a light green brownish color, and they've got the scales that will eventually harden to be stronger than steel and stuff. And they're all kind of like crouched behind things, like looking at you guys, or like under things, or like just staring at you like from pools of acid. They're not really attacking. They seem to be afraid of you more than anything else.
So would you call this a baby dragon swarm?
Yes. That is what I have documented here.
That doesn't sound great.
Lovely.
Always remember that venomous babies are generally more dangerous than the others, than adults of their species, because they cannot dry bite, and they just vomit all of the venom into you through fangs.
Oh, thanks.
Anyway, it's a bunch of baby dragons. What do you want to do? They're not attacking you. They just seem to be afraid of you.
I kind of want to just keep going.
I would say keep going.
Yeah, you keep going.
Ignore them.
I don't want
I mean, not ignore them. Cautiously keep an eye as we move
Some of them
through.
get a little bold and like get up right on your boot and are like, yip, squawk. But like your boot's pretty thick and their teeth aren't big enough to like really penetrate it. So like
That's good.
you drag them along for
They're
a
the
couple
daddy long
feet.
Would that be a
No,
plausible?
Cassius, no!
What's that?
Could we
I
take
pick up
as
the
pets?
ugliest, slimiest looking one.
If you can physically pick up a dragon.
Do I know how to tame a dragon?
No.
No.
Karen Mano said you shouldn't try to do that. They're ornery fuckers and they
Oh.
don't like anybody.
Okay.
But that said, if you
haven't
want
seen that
to,
movie.
if you want to raise a dragon,
No, I literally haven't.
Either way.
so
Never works out for the adventurers.
navigate for me. Someone. I keep pointing to Cassius.
Cassius is our guy.
Yep.
11.
11.
Ooh,
Mhm.
he's our guy.
Navigate. Navigate with your special eyes.
Cassius.
I've been down here for a while. This acid's getting to me.
It's okay.
It is all of us.
If Kenneth were with us, he'd be like, I don't see what your problem is.
Oh, that's what it is here. Okay. All right. Everyone make a Constitution saving throw.
Much better.
22.
15?
What's that?
15?
Oh, you guys are fine.
Oh, okay. Seemed low.
I'll take one. One extra. So you kind of. You kind of lose track of like where you're heading, like as far as heat and that sort of thing. But you do come to. You're moving in your ravine, and like out of nowhere comes a ravine across your ravine.
Holy fuck.
So like, there's a vertical split in the rock, but like the rock across is also split, and it's like 60 feet across. And looking down in it, where am I here?
And it drops down further too.
Yeah, it drops down further.
Okay. So it's not just an intersection.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's like 20 feet wide, and it's like a 50-foot drop down.
Okay.
It looks climbable. And there are lots of like very obvious dragon scratch marks. Like there's little dragon scales scraped across the sides of the ravine, and there's big dragon claw marks in the ravine, like bigger than the dragons you've already seen. And you're kind of leaning over, looking down into it, and you real strong blast of sulfur from down there, like just like
It's not me, guys.
That's got to be where we want to go, right?
Yeah.
I would think so.
You climb down.
Yeah.
I wonder if we should really get a Featherfall stud too.
Hey, Featherfall.
You cast Featherfall, but you go entirely limp and pass out.
Oh yeah, that could be real bad.
Hey, don't do that.
I'll have to remind you later. I had a group that had an experience with Featherfall going down a tower. They exceeded the weight.
All right, do you guys set up more like ropes and that sort of thing to like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everyone make a strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics check with advantage.
25?
Fuck
24.
Off. Fuck off. 12. So the dumbass in scale mail and the old man are just like just swinging their way down, and the acrobat. What did you get? 12.
12.
You get about 20 feet down,
Who's
and
the
then
dumbass now?
just like almost
Oh,
like
sorry, 13.
13.
Hold on. Actually, wait. I think I'm doing my dex modifier wrong. Because I think I'm trained in acrobats. Oh, no, I'm not that. 7 plus 11. Sorry. Yeah, I'm...
18?
20... No.
7
Or
plus
it'd be
11.
18.
What
yeah.
did you say? I thought you said
18.
strength check, right?
It's strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics.
Okay.
Because part of it's like
I get 18.
part of it's like keeping your balance on like the crumbly terrain. Part of
Okay.
it is like strength and like bracing yourself. So I kind of go both ways.
Yeah, if it's athletics, I get a
I got
27.
18.
What's that?
I got 18.
No, fuck off all three of you.
I get a 25.
You guys just descend like angels out of the sky if there were angels in this world.
There are now.
Boom!
Welcome to Space Force, bitch.
I was thinking it wasn't very a good idea, but then I'm like, wait a minute, let's should do that.
So you're down here,
Zach's gonna be a movie in the next couple of years. I can
and
feel it.
the floor is scattered with large dragon scales the size of Turok's palm. And Turok is like 8 or 9 feet tall.
Yeah, Turok's taller than us by a lot.
Wow, you just talking about Turok's mom like that?
No. Around you can see just huge stretches of steaming acid, like it's creating clouds of like with like little skull and crossbones in them, basically. And like there's floating bits of meat. There's like a half dissolved piece of like heavy duty chainmail. There's a halberd like melted to bit. Like it's basically just like a scum of halberd shape that's ready to dissolve if someone pokes it. Like your sinuses are on fire. Your eyes are watering like crazy. You see piles and piles of just like broken eggs, and not like something hatched out of them, but like these 1 or 2 foot long eggs that have like dragon yolk like splattered out from them, and little bits of like dragon embryos that are all sad and squished looking and that sort of thing. You start to see human and Goliath bodies that have been torn apart by huge teeth and claws. There are huge claw marks on stone. There are scorch marks on some of the bodies and some of the stone. There are lots of bodies, actually, and they're all torn apart and partially devoured. A lot of them have like huge like tears and claw marks in them that have obviously bled, but then others have like tiny little nibbles that are pretty much bloodless, like the baby dragons. Like the mom like came in there and just like tore everything to shit, and like the baby dragons came in and pecked a little bit. Do you guys want to search anything, or do you want to continue on?
I'd like to continue.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe like in passing, but yeah, I won't
Okay.
like dig around.
What's your investigate
I mean, there's the embryo stuff. You can get a little bit of acid resistance. The embryo slime.
My investigation is +0.
Yes, yeah. So you're kind of doing like a casual sweep, like maybe you got the butt of the spear out and you're like flipping over bodies as you kind of, keep your eyes on things. You hear like the tinkle of coins, like there's a coin pouch that gets jostled, and if you pick it up, you would find 96 gold in it.
Yeah.
Maybe you jostle another. You see a mostly intact body, and you kind of flip him over because he's kind of curled over himself. And you can see on his collarbone there's a stud.
Yeah, I pull it.
All right. It pops right off because he's dead and it's not attached to him really anymore. You put your finger kind of on it, and you get a sense of a spell that creates loud noises capable of damaging living beings and breaking objects.
Out of game, do I know what that
Thunder
actually
wave.
is?
Probably would be.
You won't
my
know exactly what it is until you implant it.
Oh wait, right side. Gotta keep them even.
Shatter spell with a 4th level spell
guess.
slot.
Ooh, even better.
But it's using 9th level spell slot now, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right.
See, I thought it was the thunder wave spell. Jacob's favorite spell.
It is. So,
Shatter
It's
spell.
11:10.
Yeah, 4.
do we want to fight the dragon tonight? Or do we want to wait till next time?
When everyone's here.
Yeah. It's up to you guys.
I'm cool with either. Like,
I'm anxious to roll some dice for combat, but I also know that there's only 3 of us in an encounter that's probably designed for 6.
4. I toned it down a little.
but
Okay.
you can tone it back up if people.
I mean, it's kind of like getting a. You're getting a major plot point here, so maybe having more of the group here would be kind of cooler.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean,
If everyone's cool with that.
We're kinda-
Like I said, I want to fight it, but I also know that the right choice is probably wait.
I think having more of the group here for
Yeah.
big plot points important.
Okay, we'll call it here. We don't have to really worry about like doing
Just showing everybody that's about the size of what we're.
Yeah, we can. I'll have plenty of work to work with to make a scenario that's for next time that's more than one fight. So we should
Okay.
be good.
Cool.
That's why. Otherwise, it'd be like, fuck it, let's do it right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way, honestly, so that's cool.
Give it a little more.
Yeah. But yeah, we can kind of call it here.
Yeah, I'm having trouble.
Shatterspell's fucking awesome.
Anyway.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Basically, what I do when I roll for studs is I just take like, I don't know, like 3, 4 D100 and just count alphabetically from one way or the other. It varies.
Damage increases by
All right,
1d.
how do I save Audacity? Hit stop.
Yep, just hit stop. Yep.
I would have rolled.
And then you have to file, save, and then export it, which I can do as long as you save it.